Yeah, this is Kenrick H. Sandy. What's going on? Make sure you tune into Soundcheck.
Yo, what's happening? And welcome to another episode of Soundcheck. Brought to you by Deja, sponsored by Ginge London. My name's Ricardo and I'm your host.
My name's Mr. Baker.
And I'm Antoine.
And today we have East London's finest, Mr. Kenrick H2O Sandy. Give it up, bro. Yeah. Yes, man. Yeah. You know how long we wait for you to come in?
I swear down.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Cool, man. So how you been?
I've been good, you know. I feel very blessed. I'm breathing, so I'm alive, so that's all good.
I mean, give thanks. So, everyone should know you, but for people that don't know you, could you give a little bit of your background, just kind of how you started, you know?
Okay. I started in September 1998. I had no interest in dance in any shape or form.
None?
No. I thought it was for girls. I was just that guy. I thought, no, dancing is for girls. I was interested more in basketball, football, art and design, and acting as well. And it's not until Mikey J and my brother Kelroy, they were dancing with Kat for Rough Stuff at Forest Gate Youth Centre, and that's where I was playing basketball. So I started to watch what they were doing. I started to see a bit more of the breaking stuff because that looked a bit more masculine for me. And I was like, okay, I did a bit of gymnastics. Okay, maybe that can come in handy. So actually I became what we would classify like the flipster nowadays. In the crew. So I wasn't doing no routines. But it's not until there was a big show in Hackney Empire and I had to learn a particular routine or you couldn't do the show. So I remember learning it from an 11-year-old called Sabrina, aka LMS, and I had to learn that routine in order to do the show. And that's when I started to get a first for the dancing properly because I thought, okay, it's not so bad. So I started doing that, started dancing, and then from there, just carried on doing. I completely changed my whole education for it as well. I was supposed to do art and design, and I literally changed it and did a performing arts course instead to get a bit of the ballet, contemporary jazz, and all that kind of stuff. From that, I then was like, you know what, I'm on a serious thing. I want to get into it properly.
Yeah.
And I started my first crew in '99 called Matrix. That was our first ever crew. From that, we then had our younger crew called Tricks. And then Matrix kind of fizzled out. And then in January the 13th, 2001 is when we started Chronic.
Okay.
And then from that, May 2001 is when we started BoyBlue Entertainment.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you did have, I remember BoyBlue had Chronic, Tricks, and was it the Blues?
The Brats.
Oh, the Brats, that's the ones,
Impulse. Which
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of changes in the sense of the names underneath BoyBlue. But BoyBlue, so now it's been 14 years now. Yeah. The company's been together.
Long time. Respect for that, man, definitely, because there's not a lot of people still around 14 years ago, from 14 years back, you know. I was, doing 10 years? And to me, that feels like eternity. But you've been dancing longer than that. So and to still see you lot here, consistent, got to give credit to that, you know?
Cool. So, go on. Where did the name BoyBlue come from?
Okay, so at the time, there was different groups like Blaze, 2020, Image, Size 9. There was very like, banana names. And I was just like, do you know what? Let's just find something quite significant. I'm a boy, I like blue.
Straight.
Do you know what I mean? It was just something so that what it did is it just forced people to go like, BoyBlue. It's not really, it's quite bland. You know, if you think about it, just BoyBlue. But the movement will do all the talking. So it's one of those ones, if the name is going to be like that, then we just need to just go in on what we do.
Of course. Thinking of your performances of BoyBlue, the one that sticks out in my head was the X-Men set. And to me, it was like BoyBlue were the first ones to kind of bring across, you know, that the cutting of music and putting sound effects and stuff. Yes, I saw Plague doing it, but the first people I actually saw doing it consistently was your group. Kind of, what was the kind of reason for you kind of incorporating sound effects, and so what kind of visions did you have?
Okay, so we came on the scene, so to speak, say 99, me and my brother. So we went to what was known at the time GWI Street Dance Weekend. So we was under Special K, me and my brother. We went to the competition, we came fourth. We didn't know what the hell we was getting ourselves involved in. We just heard about this competition. We just won a competition in East. Let's go to this. So he's there with any Adidas tracksuits that weren't even the same. We just came there just raw. Yeah. Came fourth. We was like, okay, cool. 2000 now. He said, Mikey, do you want to come get involved? And that's where came about. So we looked at what the situation was, because it was all mainly South London crews. We was our only crew from East London. So we looked at the system and looked at the formula, what everyone was doing. We was doing pretty much the same thing, because our teacher, Kat, used to train with GWY and them. So we understood that. But we said, we need to bring something different in order for us to be cut above the rest. So the major things we brought in was our rawness, our tricks and stuff, because we were quite mad and very unorthodox. And also, Mikey was into music, and Mikey was like, Ken, I think I can really change up the music to make us look different, sound different, be different. So we started to look at our choreography, and we started looking, okay, how do we want to jazz it up a little bit? And it stems from like the breakdowns from music videos. So like Janet Jackson would do it, Christina Milian, who was J-Lo, you know, all Michael Jackson, all had that kind of sound effect moment. So we said, okay, we need to figure out moments within our sets that we can put those in, as opposed to what is now, which is from top to bottom. So we started to put those in, and people were like, rah, like what's going on? It would emphasize the movement and emphasize the music. So musically, it felt like it was going somewhere. So it was more about the breakdown or the moment. From that, we then started to look at concepts, because with the competition, everyone was starting to go, okay, we need to put concepts on top of stuff. So with regards to the X-Men one, I was into my comics all the time. I said, you know what, I want to do one around that. So each dancer had a different character. And then from that, we then created different set pieces with regards to the different characters. So the concept became consistent. The only thing now when I look back at it is that the music, to a certain extent, didn't have relevance towards it. But where we were so hip-hop orientated, we just had these beats and we just used these different beats. And then we had our skits and stuff like that, and that was more the entertainment side of it. So it's funny, and it's very like ironic that now I'm seeing what is happening now with regards to the sound effects, with regards to the skits. These were more moments than actual the sets. So you nowadays, in my opinion, you lose to a certain extent the enjoyment. No, not to a certain extent. You definitely lose the enjoyment of the music, because if you over remix the music, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And you want to, as an audience, you want to look at what's going on. And when you hear those moments, you're like, right, okay, but it sounds like it's been done for a reason, as opposed to I'm going to put this sound effect there, which has no relevance to the beat. Then at the same time, with regards to the set pieces and all these breakdown moments, it's about finding a moment that it can give your set a crescendo. And the aim was to give it a crescendo, as opposed to I'm going to just do this, be loud throughout the whole set. There's no texture and there's no tone. So X-Men was the beginning. It wasn't necessarily the beginning, but it was one of the, like you're saying, the iconic ones where people were like, rah, okay, you're thinking differently to your hip-hop sets. Because after a while, if you're just dancing to just regular music and you're doing regular routines, it can get boring.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? And I get bored very easily. So it's like, okay, we need to move on and try and figure out other ways and concepts.
Okay, cool, man. Do you believe that, obviously you said that there's a lot of South groups and not a lot from anywhere else. Do you believe that you kind of put East London on the map?
No,
so to speak.
We definitely did. They thought East London was a myth.
Really?
Like, yeah. When we said, where you're from, we're from East. What?
Really? That's
like, you're not from Wandsworth, you're not from Lambeth, you're not from Tooting, you're not from Battersea, you're not from them sides. Yeah, we're from East. Like, they're like, rah, there's dancers in East. Yeah, and then after that, we was like, rah, they really think there's nothing else. Like, I remember there was nothing in North at all. And then after we did 2001, we then just brought the whole picnic them and the next year, and we just brought a whole battalion of people. And that's when I think GWY as a competition became London, as opposed to just South London, because it was at the Battersea Tech. And for me, like, I know yesterday they've just done the XXL. But Battersea Tech to me was the venue, because it felt like he was in a coliseum, and the audience, the stage is here, where you use the floor, but you have the whole audience going like this, and the guy's like, I will never forget those competitions. That was the place. That was the place. Because then it started moving to like Fairfields and all them places, which was cool. But Battersea Tech, the audience was next to you. So you had no choice but to give 110%. You had to do it. Whereas sometimes when the audience is further away from you, you kind of, you lose that intimacy. You lose that connection with them. You're forced to work slightly harder, even though you are working. You know understand what I mean? So, but no, Battersea Tech was the days, man.
Yeah, it's kind of mad because you said there was no East, and there's a part where when I started dancing, there was no South groups. It started shifting.
It got quiet. It did get quiet. I mean, because your crew was from South East, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So South East started to push more. Funny enough, it was like South East was pushing. Then there was a couple from North, a couple from Northwest as well, some from West as well. Southwest was starting to go a bit quiet because GWI held a fort. They had a fortress. Understand? They had a fortress in Southwest London, right? And it was so strong. You know what I mean? I remember Marvel, Jody, Harrison. Who else? Midair, all from there. When they were young, I met them there. You know what I mean? Kelly, Ricochet, there. Kieran, there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
And for me, you know, the groups like the Untouchables and Suave were the ones that were just like, if there was a boy group, Untouchable. Them guys, them would do moves that I was like, okay, we need to match that. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't fazed by anyone else. GWI as a collective, Dimples and Paulie and all them lot, they were the ones who made it very clear, Mandem, before any other boy group. Wow. So they were very inspirational in the sense of once we were doing our stuff, they secured what we was doing was on the right path. You know what I mean? And then East went crazy. It started happening more and more. It was in Newham, Tower Hamlets, Hackney, Walthamstow, Waltham Forest. So the 4 boroughs, just abundance. And then what was happening is a lot of South London dancers were going to East
to train.
Because what happened in that generation, that's all it was. But then now, it's like South has now reinvented itself and has its position. Because there are more studios now as well. Of course. More dance places. Like Studio 68. You got Hussey's still there, but you got Studio 68. Then you got the other one in what's the one in Stockwell?
Oh, No Limit.
Is it No Limit? But No Limit, because that one was there. Then you've got now IA Studios.
There's one in Brixton.
The one in Brixton, Studio B. So in all those different places, there was areas you could facilitate what you want to do. Therefore, it pushed South back up again. Then a lot of the young South London dancers then established themselves as young South London choreographers, which also pushed South London back up to where it needed to be. Because like I said, there was nothing coming from East at all. So between 2000 to say 2004, 2005, it was pretty much East London taking over GWI. So it went from like KMK to then Plague, and that was it. And then it's not until Flawless won it, who are from North, that it then went, it's open to anyone. Do you know what I mean? And that's when you had, say, Diversity, and then Ricochet won it, and then Unity won it, and then Peridot won it.
So
you know what I mean?
It's everywhere.
So then it was like, you know what? It's all up for grabs. You know what I mean?
So how was it you winning it? Because you're saying about Peridot winning it, Diversity. How was it for you when you won it?
When we won it in 2000, it was just like, raw. Like when we finished our set, I remember we finished with doing Suicides, and we just sat there. And we just sat there on the floor. We looked up to the audience, and it was like a standing ovation. And we were just looking at each other, thinking, "Right, this felt like a movie." Do you know what I mean? So when we won it, and I know right now, I think Paulie's put it up on Facebook. Some of the old stuff. When you look back at it, you're just like, "Wow!" Like as much as some people may look back and go, "Raw, I was dead." Now I appreciate what I was doing then. Because I didn't care. We didn't care. We was just raw. We've kept it raw. We've kept it real, and it was beautiful. Like I think there was a bit of money. There was a bit of thing. The first thing we did, bruv, we went to Waterloo and we went to McDonald's.
Yes, man. The celebration meal there. Yes.
No, McDonald's. Watching that set every day. You did the wick thing.
Yeah. The stuff.
Damn, too much jokes.
Every day watching it when I first started dancing, I was like, "Who's these guys?"
We literally did not care. It was like, we're dancing, we're moving, we're expressing ourselves. It was no like trying to jump on no bandwagon. It was like, we're making our own express train, and whoever wants to come in it. That's how it was.
So with obviously with BoyBlue, like a lot of things have developed. You know what I mean? Like you've grown as a dancer, as an individual, and you've obviously influenced a lot of people in the industry. Do you know what I mean? And one of the biggest things that I've seen like BoyBlue do are their productions. Do you know what I mean? Like you had Pied Piper. Do you know what I mean? And that was like that was a sick production. Do you know what I mean? I was watching it. I was like, "Rah, this is sick." But what made you come up with like doing productions? Do you know what I mean? Because that kind of like changed the whole kind of dance scene. Do you know what I mean? No one really saw. People saw productions, but it wasn't really like us lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, us man doing productions. Like it's like you'd see like theatre. You see people just doing like Lion King and stuff. But then you came and brought like hip hop to it. You thinking?
I mean, for our I think a major thing I think people need to understand is that hip hop theatre or hip hop productions were happening way before any of us even started. You had Benji Reed and you had John ZD and you had the likes of like Robert Hilton, Kwesi and all them cats. Even as far as, you know, some of the African dance companies doing their thing. For us, it was about trying to feed the boredom. So we would put concepts. And then we had an opportunity at Theatre Royal Stratford East to put on a show. So it's like, okay, we've got to put on a show. We've got to put like a 90-minute show. We need concepts. We need ideas. And then we started to create these different pieces, like 4 to 5 minute pieces with concept upon concept after back to back. From then, they were like, would you be interested in doing a production? So before Pied Piper was the Book of Karaka.
Yes.
And that was in 2005. So that's the first one. But even before that, the college I went to, which was Barking College, they wanted me to do a night. So we did a Time to Dance in 2004. So we did that show. We had our concepts. We then had our ideas. Then 2003 is when we did the first breaking convention. And we did clocks.
Yeah.
So we started to move the concepts. So when it got to then Pied Piper, already John ZD did Aeroplane Man and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were just a new generation doing our thing. And it so happened that subconsciously, or whether Energy Lions or fate told us or gave us this opportunity, Pied Piper came about. And with that, it was literally 20 lines of a poem to create a 90-minute show. Right. And we was like, you know what? It has to be raw. It has to be real. It has to be goon. It has to be mandem. Like, we went in, all blacked out, boom, that's it, Asbo.
Yeah. You know I remember,
So it gave us a Laurence Olivier Award.
You know what I mean? We're gonna ask about that.
For a hip hop company or street dance, whatever you want to call us, street dance entertainment, whatever. That's a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't even know what it was. I remember I was in New York and I got a call from Mikey, bruv, we've been nominated for Laurence Olivier. What's that, bruv? I didn't know what it was. I had to research and I looked at the thing and I was like, rah, okay. Safe.
Okay. It was a cheers.
So man had to go and buy a suit and everything. Got the nomination, went down there, we won it, and I was just like, okay, obviously now, we're being recognised.
Yeah.
So from that, we just carried on pushing that. So as much as we may like doing our mainstream street dance sets, the productions are important. And for me, they're very important because it pushes hip-hop theatre, hip-hop dance, it pushes it in a place which it is recognised and it is respected. Just the same as you got ballet companies doing their thing, contemporary companies, etc., etc. It also gives opportunity for dancers to get paid.
Of course, yeah.
And have a career. It also helps dancers to pursue what kind of training they want to do. Even this morning before I came here, it was looking at what kind of dancers are out there. And you have your choreo dancers, you have your conceptual dancers, you have your hip-hop theatre dancers, you have your battlers, you have your freestylers. So there is categories. As much as people don't want to be put into blocks, you kind of put it in on yourself. You know what I mean? So it's an opportunity to push people into that area of putting concepts and being able to take the concept and the intention first before the movement. Because a lot of times we are dictated by choreography. Therefore, we live by the choreography. For me, I need a stimulus. I need something. Even if I'm in class and I'm teaching, if it's an R&B track, I'm not gonna be their bland face. I'm gonna be smooth. I'm gonna imagine that I've got my rum and coke in my hand. I'm dancing nicely. If or if I'm doing hip hop, depending on what kind of hip hop it is, if it's that raw, I have to be raw. I can't be bland. I'm not dictated by the choreography. There's the feeling of it is what makes the choreography. So I have to go back to the feeling, to the foundation of it. Let alone the hip hop foundation that is put into it. I have to get into it. So, you know, the productions are more an opportunity it's an opportunity to give more opportunities. You know?
Cool, man.
Sick. So, one question I did want to know, like, and I think a lot of people want to know. You know, when you did the Olympics, like, when you got the call, where was he? Like, where was you when you got the call? Like, you got the call saying, "Rah, the Olympics." Like, do you know what I mean? That's a big thing. Like, where was you when you got the call? How did you feel? What was it? What was going through your mind?
I got a text. Yeah. That was the first thing.
A text, you know?
I understand. I got a text, and I was at Maryland Center Stage Studio. So I was outside. Got the text. I said, okay, see this number, don't know it. Hi, this is Danny Boyle. I would like to have a conversation with you with regards to doing choreography for the London 2012 Olympics. I looked in, I thought, someone's trying to mug me off. I'm not going to lie. Really? Then I must have showed, and I was like, Danny Boyle. Who's this Danny Boyle?
The director, isn't it?
That director, Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah,
So I was like, no, someone's really trying to take me for it. So I showed it to Bruno, and he came outside and said, bruv, look at this text. Is this serious? He went, bruh. And I went, shall I call it? Because there was a moment where I was going to be like, nah, someone's trying to mug me off. How did this person get my number? So I called the number, and I heard his voice, and I heard his accent, and I was just like, it's not a joke to him. He goes, can you come in to have a meeting? So I went to 3 Mills to have the meeting, and I had to sign a disclosure and everything and look at what the whole situation was. And I was just like, rah. And I came back and I must have said, they were like, how was your meeting? And I was like, I can't say what I saw.
Yeah,
but just understand, it's a real thing.
You know that.
Just understand, it's a real thing. And from that, I was just like, okay, so there's some pressure that's on me to try and, you know, make it happen. And that was it, man.
How do you think they got your number? Obviously, because you've been about, you're an experienced dancer, you're a great dancer. Is it someone personally, or do you think they just had knowledge of you? And
I think they were looking at the piece I worked on. I think they were just looking at someone who was able to give that feeling, give that energy. I think they were looking at with regards to choreographers that are of the area as well. And I think they just wanted maybe something young and fresh, because I think all the other choreographers were not older than me, but was older. And it was a good experience. I learned a lot because I had to retrack, understand the different dance styles or the different feelings of the different dance of the different eras that we was working with. But it definitely, I did feel an evolution in myself, in just already being more confident and saying, you know what, from time I'm doing something that big, there's no boundaries.
It's true.
From that, it made me understand a lot more about management, made me understand a lot more about myself, choreography, working with people, human relations, collaborating. Yeah. Because I worked with a collective called Mass Movement, and if it wasn't for them, the formations and the visual stuff of what we was trying to do, the vision would not have come out. Wow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They really helped to organise, and they orchestrated the volunteers, and they made sure everything was down to a T. So that was beautiful to be able to collaborate with them. And then working with Danny Boyle as well, and getting into his head and having moments. You know, don't get twisted. There was arguments and there was moments, and there was one moment I nearly got ghetto. Like I was, because what it was is that the show was going over time.
Okay. And
we had to shave some stuff off. Now we was prepared. Everything was done. Music was done. Choreography done. Everything was done. Ken, we have to try and shave off 2 minutes. Ooh. Trying to shave off 2 minutes is not easy.
2 minutes?
Yeah, it's not easy. Wow. When you've said it already.
Yeah.
The volunteers have learned all this stuff. So you're just like, Danny, you're killing me, man. He's like, Ken, yeah. I was like, bruv, that section is not finished. Take 2 minutes from them. Like, I was like, oh, Ken, no, we have to take it from here. I was vexed. The vexation was growing. And
Vexation.
he saw it, and he was just like, Ken, I'm really, really sorry. I had to walk out the office.
Wow.
Vexed. I was just like, you're doing my head in. But then you have to learn patience, tolerance, all that kind of stuff. So, and it's not my baby as well. You know what I mean? One thing I've learned all the time is that as much as you're passionate and you love what you do, if it's not your baby, there's only so much you can do. You have to deliver a service. So we cut it down. We told the volunteers. We made them understand the situation. You saw faces just like, I've learnt this stuff.
I killed myself for it.
At the end of the day, it was done. The ceremony was successful.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It was hard. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy. You're doing meetings at, like, finishing at 2:00 in the morning and trying to get back to work again at 11:00. It's not easy. So you're going hard body. You have to get thick skin. And you, you learn a lot. You understand a lot. Now, I was just recently doing a job where I had about 44 people, 45 people. And they're like, yeah, we're going to work with this amount of people. And I'm like, cool. And they're like, what, we think it's a lot. A lot? What do you mean? We just dealt with like 1,000 people to 50.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's not even just the job. It's the experience that you get from it and what other things that you learn, as you just explained.
Exactly.
So it's more than just, I did that, because you learn more.
And I still put it into my work now. I still look at the overall picture and I advance myself and I try and challenge myself in what I do. So I don't want to just sit in what I do and be comfortable. I want to challenge myself. I want to look at how I put moves together, how I put a piece together. What is the glue? What is missing? What's the transition? You know what I mean? How do I start it? What's the statement? How do I finish it? Where's the crescendo? Stuff like that. So I'm always playing with ideas. Even if it doesn't work the first time, it will work the second time. I need to feed it, whether it's right or wrong, but I need to feed the expressionism. So doing the Olympics definitely made me feel hard body. Like, I was like, I can do anything. I can be anything. You know what I mean? I can stand next to these other top choreographers and do something and have a voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I believe everyone should feel empowered, like, from that situation. You know what I mean? That I'm just Kenrick. I just do my thing. I'm from the street dance hip hop world. And then I did the Olympics. Anything is possible.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? From that. So I tell a lot of people, when people are like, I want to try and do this, do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk, do. You know what I mean? There's no point in talking about it. If you have a vision, do it.
No problem. Yeah, of course,
I mean?
of course. Another thing that I like about you, Kenrick, and BoyBlue on a whole is that you lot support the dance industry, whether it's underground, mainstream, everything. A lot of groups that I hear that want to get booked for shows are like, no, we're not doing it because we're higher than this, or we're not doing it because we need to get paid such and such and such. And when I sit there and I think to myself, bro, but BoyBlue would do it. Like, you would do it, whether you get paid or not. Because I don't know, obviously, but you still support the shows, whether it's a big show or a small show. And when we look at you, obviously you're a household name, and for you to still be there, people are, okay, yeah, boom, I'm coming just to see you lot. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, to me, stuck up their arse and don't want to do it whether they're getting paid, because they do one little show and they think, oh yeah, I'm big now. So, you know what I mean? So I'd like to say that I respect just that movement there, you know?
I think it's important that the scene, we're all UK. We're London and we're UK. And it's important to support the scene. So for me, it would be nice to get paid.
Of course.
But at the same time, the platforms that are around, or that were around, or that still is around, is an opportunity for dancers to express themselves and for choreographers to express themselves. So these platforms shouldn't be taken lightly. They should be pushed. We should push ourselves through these platforms. These are the same platforms that pushed my career in the first place. So why would I turn my back on the same platforms that made me who I am today? Do you know what I mean? And it's important that I push the dancers into these platforms and not always think, oh, you must be paid for this. No, we all need to make food. We all need to feed. I totally understand that. And for me, BoyBlue as a company, when I'm teaching all the kids, that don't make me money. It's my work outside of that makes me money, makes me get by. I have a responsibility. I was told many years ago I have a responsibility to help push the scene. Hence why I'm still here. If I wanted to, I could have easily left and stopped and just pursued my career and gone over to the States or gone to Europe and do all these different things. But something is holding me here, and it's a responsibility that I have. And it's not easy. But I have to take on these platforms and push it. Even if someone goes, oh, Ken, we want a little something, I go, you know what, I'll see what I can do. And I'm like, if anytime Jan will ask me about a show, I always ask, who's performing? He will say such and such. I always ask that question because for me, I'm not looking to bring something the same as everyone else. I want to know who's doing it. So if he goes such and such, oh, there's no girls, there's no all-girl group, I might just bring a set of girls. Okay. Just so that from a programming point of view,
so it looks different.
It's different. So the show becomes eclectic. Yeah. I'm always about trend setting and standing out. That's just the mentality. It's from the days of GWI. You know what I mean? So for me, it's important that we're always bringing something fresh and something new.
Of course. But do you believe there's still enough platforms for dancers?
There's not as many. There was loads before, and there's not as many. I'm in a space where I'm looking at maybe trying to help that. Whether it's a platform, I'm not sure yet. I think there needs to be more. There definitely needs to be more because, like you know, there used to be times where every month there was something. Every 2 months there was something.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So you knew the calendar.
Yeah.
And what was funny is that in the calendar you knew Breaking Convention was at a certain point and then GWI was at a certain point. So I had to be at Breaking Convention. I had to be at GWI. You know what I mean? And then everything else in between was like, okay, we've got this show, that show, that show. So in your calendar as a dancer, right, there's some events happening. If you weren't at that event, you're fuming. Do you know what I mean? I remember if I didn't go to GWI, I was fuming. If I didn't go Breaking Convention, I was fuming. Like when we did Pied Piper, I think it was 2009. We was on tour, so we couldn't go. But we was on tour. You know what I mean? So even that was slightly a burn. It was like, can we go back for the day and
make it work?
So,
try to make it work.
But we do need a lot more platforms. But you know what I mean? As for all the organisers that do those platforms, it's not easy. You know what I mean? One is the finance of it. Two, it's the management of it. Three, it's getting the acts, the right acts, for what you are trying to push with regards to that show.
And then no audience.
And then it's the type of audience because sometimes nowadays, the audience is a bit weird. Like I don't know what they're coming to the show for. Before when we used to, you know what I mean? When we used to,
I've got some silent crowds out there nowadays.
Exactly. So it's like, are you coming to see dance? Are you coming to support dance? Are you coming to appreciate dance? Why are you here? Do you know what I mean? The type of person I am, I'd rather just invite the audience because I'll invite people that appreciate the dance. And if you don't come, Ken, I'd like to come. Why? Why do you want to come to the show? What's your reason? Because our reason of doing this show is a bigger reason than you actually coming. I don't mind dancing in front of one person, you know. I'll put 100% in front of one person because I want that person to take it away and feel something. A lot of audience members sometimes come and they have this kind of feeling like they don't really want to support and don't want to show love. And at the end of the day, regardless of whether you like it or not, just give that love because you're not on that stage.
Of course.
So you got to respect it.
Credit where credit's due.
Obviously, you've been in the dance industry for a long time. You've seen a lot of dancers grow. In your eyes, what up and coming choreographers do you see and you're like, yo, these people can actually, like, these kids are actually like doing well, like kind of thing. Like, what is there any choreographers in general or that you've seen and you're just like, yo, these people are tight?
I got mad love for like Glenn, Kieran, his little yardy self. I got love for him. Young ones that are coming up. There's one of our girls called Nicey.
Nicey.
She's got some stuff, and I could see her coming to bring some problems. Also, who else? I haven't really seen choreography more so. I think it's more so the dancers.
Yeah, even if it's just dancers.
I haven't seen her for a while battling. Is it Maddie? She used to be I think she was a part of or she's a part of Kaiser.
Oh yeah.
She's one of the young ones that I was just like, wow, she's hard. Watch out for Future Formalities. The little freestyle crew. They're coming together. Also I got mad love for Toby Shush. Like he just as an entity. I can't even say dancer, an entity. His mindset on dance is something to reckon with, and I can't wait for him as an artist to really blow.
Yeah.
Also, who else? I think, to be honest, I think everyone who's doing their thing right now is doing their thing, and I'm happy and I appreciate that everyone's doing their thing. You know, including yourself doing the choreography now. I think for everyone it's about doing that, because what can easily happen is people just but everyone's actually like, when shows happen, you are seeing dips coming in and doing their thing. So I think there's an appreciation across the board for everyone. There are some people that are definitely shining because they're maybe individuals, but I think as a whole I'm quite happy that things are moving. Do you know what I mean? Full stop, and it's still breathing. So
that's quite mad, because you say that you appreciate people and the same people that you like, but back in the day everyone was like, Kenrick's miserable, man. You don't even say that, oh, that was a good set, or you don't say it was a good this. And I was like, yeah, but that's Ken. Like, I'm always like, but that's Ken. Like, people are like, no, I remember people used to be scared to come to class.
Yeah.
By how you drill them.
I'll tell you what it is. I think people are too quick to want to hear what other people have to say and looking for appreciation. Self-affirmation is one of the strongest things you need to have in this world. Love yourself and love what you do, and evaluate yourself before you go, oh, can I get feedback? Because sometimes people say, can I give you feedback? And I go, what do you think? Don't worry about what I think, because I wasn't there when you was making this piece. So my opinion is really invalid. What do you think first? If you're asking me how do you reckon what choreographic devices I can work with in order to push what I'm doing for the next time, then cool. But at this precise moment in time, you've done it, you're happy, you appreciate yourself. Do you want to go and get a drink? Let's go and get a drink, rather than talk about, you know what I mean, the frangs and sways of the situation. Like, you know what I mean? And for me, it's not a miserable face. It's just that, you know, if you're smiling or you're having a frown, you are like using your muscles. What am I using my muscles for? I'm chilling. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be constantly like, that's dead. Like, that's fake. You know what I mean? What you see is what it is. So if you come and have a conversation with me, you're gonna have a good conversation. You come with some duppy zombie business, you're going to get a barrier.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a time that you come up to the group and said, "That's it there." And then you walked off. That was it. And everybody's like, wow, he actually said that. It was like, well, then we're doing something right then, isn't it?
Because recently at Breakout, when I did my set, I walked past Ken. I walked past him, he was like, That's it. Didn't even want to even acknowledge what the yeah meant. I just went, yeah. Cool. It was yeah. I don't know what yeah means, but yeah. That's
keep
calm.
it moving.
Do you know what I mean?
I do appreciate. I think if we're talking out real, I appreciate what people do, and it's not because I'm trying to be stuck up or anything. It's just more so that have your time and think about what it is you need to do. Yeah. Me, the first thing I want to do is when I go into a place, I want to say hello to every single dancer in the building because I respect everyone. I'm not waiting for people to come and talk to me. I come and say, yeah, what's good? If I see you, you know me, I'll come and go, hi, how you doing, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't see me at the end, at least you know at the beginning you saw me. Yeah. And I want to make sure that people are aware, not because I'm in the building, but how you doing? What's good? You know what I mean? Even if I don't know you, it's if I can sense you're a dancer, I'll say hello to you. And some people think it's weird. No, man, in this world you should be saying hello to people.
Yeah, why not?
So BoyBlue's been running around 14 years, around that. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Is it anything in particular?
I think one of the major things I know the major thing I do want to do is go into some form of lecturing or some kind of mentor in the sense of just helping people to not necessarily be choreographers or be dancers, but just be expressionists and be able to express themselves through any media possible known to man. I believe we need that. I believe even if you're an academic head, you need that level of expressionism because it makes you confident and it enriches you with an empowerment that forces you to take your equations to another level, so that whatever you think is impossible is possible. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. I want to go into that and talk to people about how I think about movement and dance and how I incorporate hip hop into a space where I express it. I take that rawness. I take what I've seen on the streets and make it into movement, as opposed to looking on YouTube and Facebook on other people's choreographic styles and think, oh, I need to fit in there. No, I have a way of expressing myself. Yeah. I'm quite real. I'm quite raw. I aim to be that. I want to be that because that's where I'm from. So I put that into my movement. I put that into my dance.
Of course.
I want to just help push the scene. Try and find ways to just make the scene bigger and brighter and better. Put UK on the map more than it is because we are underrated. Like we are so underrated, it's unbelievable, 100%. And it annoys me. So sometimes I hold UK on my arm tight, and I'm very, very picky when it comes to international companies coming over and everyone gassing over them. I don't get gas because for me, I love UK, and you coming over here, you're a visitor. Like, I'm just so real. It's not even me sounding even racist or anything. It's just that realness, because there's been too many times, you know, cats from overseas have come over, told us we're doing certain things wrong. Then their younger generation is doing what we was doing years before.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make me feel as though I'm wrong. Nah,
Yeah,
fam.
yeah.
Do you know what? I'm doing what I want. Because clearly you guys are doing what you want. Say what you have to say, and I respect what you have to say. But understand, respect the situation. I'm here. I'm UK straight.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
No,
Well,
yeah, man.
that being said, Ken, is it cool for us to play a game?
Yeah, man. Let's
Cool.
play a game, man.
We're going to play a game called Call Back.
Text. We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
Alright, cool. So call back. Basically, you get 3 missed calls. I'm going to give you 3 names. You get 3 missed calls. You have to call one back, text one, and completely air the other one, yeah? Cool. So, first name.
Skittles.
I'm actually thinking Skittles. So, you got Skittles.
Yep.
You've got Jan.
Yan. Okay.
And
Oh,
you've got...
mate.
Just like laughing because everyone knows.
God.
Respect the situation. You've got Skittles, you've got Yan, and you've got... Who was that?
Your wife, Nuna.
Wow.
All right. So that's quite simple. That,
Yeah, obviously, you know, we already...
You've made it too
easy,
You
man.
made it too easy, so you might have to give me a second one. So
Yeah.
I'm calling it straight back because there could be a situation with the kids.
Yeah,
So
see,
that's it.
you can't really answer.
I'll text Skittles because Skittles don't answer her phone. So I text her and I'll wait for her to get back to me. And then I'll give Yan air on the basis that I know he's gonna call me back. He will hound me. Anytime Yan needs to talk to me, he will call me back. So I can air that knowing that he'll call me. Fam, you saw my message. And I'm like, yes, I did. But I knew he was gonna call back.
You were gonna call me back.
And then we have our conversation. So that one.
That was
too
easy.
easy.
Do it again.
No,
Do it
no,
again.
do it. Cool. So, you got 3 names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call one back, text one, miss it. You've got Hakeem. You've got Johnsy D,
Yep.
and you've got
Mikey J.
Mikey J. You got Mikey J.
Yeah.
You have to call one back, text one, and miss a call. Completely air.
Air.
Look at it and be like, nah, Reg.
Bluetooth.
I'm not doing it.
Double
Man's
tick
at
you in
rehearsal still.
WhatsApp.
Like, you know, at rehearsals, yeah.
Yeah, hold me, I don't lie.
Yeah.
But they do nothing loud.
Okay, I know what to do. I
on the
would.
door. Yeah.
I'm calling back Mikey. We're business partners and we've got stuff to do. We've got stuff to do. So
real.
nah, there's no texting. Call him back. I would text. Yeah, I would text Hakeem
Okay.
and I'll give Johnsy air. Because Johnsy, get in touch with that guy is like a myth. He come like a shadow, like a Ronin ninja.
Really?
So I would give him what he gives me. So you understand?
back, bro.
I would message him, yeah? Listen, I would message Johnsy, yeah? Maybe a week later. Then, yeah, okay, what's going on? I've been South Africa, I've been somewhere else. Yeah, alright, cool. Karma is a bitch.
Oh, wow.
So Johnsy will get air, so you can feel it. But what I'll do is I must be call him and say, I aired you on purpose.
I mean, just told you no.
I said, I love you, but you got air for me. Straight. I text Hakeem and then I have to call Mikey.
Nice. Right, let's talk about the dance industry. To me, I've seen a lot of changes. Some things that I like, some things I don't like. Is there anything in the dance industry that you've seen now that you would change, or would you keep it exactly the same?
I'd keep the energy the same, and the want to produce and express. I think the only seed I would plant is individualization.
Yeah, that's lost now, isn't it?
To me, it's not lost. It's there, but people are just not aware of it. I think because of YouTube and all this stuff, everyone is looking at what is the in thing, or what is getting hits, or what is making heads turn, and they're not realizing the heads that are the way that it's been turned is because people are being different. And this is something I've been trying to make people understand from day one, even from the days of GWY. Be different. But what it is, they're looking at how someone has championed and won a competition and gone, that's what we need to do. We need to take that and we need to multiply it by 5. No, fam. Be different.
Yeah.
So if there was more individualization, I'd be more excited.
Yeah.
Because then you won't know where to turn. Because then, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that. So I wouldn't be able to predict what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I find I'm easily able to predict. Hence why I say, okay, so who's performing? X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
yeah, so that you know what to throw in. Yeah.
And when I do see something which is different, then I'm like, guys, we got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
They're on some thing. You know what I mean? So that's that. I think that's the only thing. It's just individualization.
Cool, man. To last question now. Do you have any advice for choreographers of groups or individuals as dancers to better themselves for the future? Like,
in terms of the dance.
You know what I mean? In terms of the dance scene, or how their mindset should be. Just general kind of advice.
I think one of the major things for choreographers and dancers in the street dance hip hop scene is ethics and management, like timekeeping, just professionalism, how you conduct yourself. Yes, we all may have this ghetto strand in our lives, and we've been in and amongst all these different things. But understand the system and the institution don't care. From when you look like you're a liability, they're not interested. And what tends to happen is people are kind of like, what you see is what you get. Fine, but understand you are messing up the possibilities of, for example, the Arts Council loving hip hop in the scene, because it's a risk take when it comes to hip hop. It's a risk take when it comes to street dance because it's so raw. You can't control it. But within that chaos, there is a level of order. There is a level of discipline. Yeah. Our technique itself in our dance has so much technique. You can't say shouldn't be respected. It's just about how we manage ourselves and how we put ourselves out and become that brand. I think allow yourself as choreographers to be challenged. Challenge yourself. Play with ideas. When you say you're going to work with concept, or you say you're going to do something in the world of hip hop theatre, be very clear with what you're doing. Standard choreography is not conceptual choreography, because you're just doing 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to look at your intention. I think the major thing is, as choreographers, look at your intention. As dancers, stop thinking about 5, 6, 7, 8 and being artists. Us as the choreographers, as creative people, we need artists, because then we can create art. So if you have more of a individual mindset, a creative mindset, I could throw something at you and you'll catch it and just modify it into something else. It then throws my mind to be inspired by you as an artist. I want to work with artists. I don't want to work with dancers anymore. I've done it for too long. I want to work with artists. So I want to push people to become more artistic. Give you an option. Give you an idea. Know when to stay in your lane and be a follower. But when I ask you to be a leader, you're strong enough to do it. You're strong enough to be a creative. So I've always been three things at the same time: dancer, choreographer, teacher. And it's trying to get people to feel the same way and push the same way for themselves. So as a dancer, evolve. Pokemon, become an artist. As a choreographer, challenge yourself, be an individual. If you're watching other people's choreography, appreciate it instead of interpreting it. Yeah? And the world is your oyster, you know what I mean? Go for it. Bring more productions, because it helps the scene. Do you know what I mean? So when Ivan did Harlem Dreams not so long ago, I was gassed because it was someone else doing a production. And not always, is BoyBlue doing something? Or is Avant-Garde doing something? Or is Zoo Nation doing something? You know what I mean? It was, this cat is doing something. So big up Ivan for doing that.
Yeah, of course.
And now they're, what's it called? I think it's associate artist or residential artist at the Young Vic. So, you know what I mean? Hip-hop, street dance, urban, whatever you want to call it, is moving.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's definitely moving, and I think we just need to make sure that we discipline ourselves and not always rely on everyone else, but rely on each other and support, our scene a bit more.
Cool, man. Is there any way that people can get in contact with you? Their Twitter,
if
Facebook,
or anything? I think if you come correct, then you can get me on.
Real time. You come correct. It's real though, isn't it?
No, I don't want to hear nonsense, innit? Like, Twitter is Kenrick H2O. Facebook, don't bother because I'm hardly on it. Twitter, I'm on that quite a bit. The website, BoyBlue.com, or just like come to class. I'm at Studio 68 on a Monday, 6 o'clock. I'm at Centre Stage on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock. So I'm around, you know what I mean? If you really need to chat to me,
You'll find me.
I'm around.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can chat and talk. And I think just also, I say to people, as much as face is quite bland, like don't be afraid to come and chat to people like myself, peers who have been around for time. Have the confidence to come and chat to us about stuff. Come correct, because we've had to be correct for many, many years.
Yeah. So
don't come and start saying like you're some kind of drug man. So I'm saying like I got this thing going on, fam. So come with something so that I'm able to push you. Because right now, if you're talking like that, then I'm not going to take you serious.
Of course.
And you want to be taken serious, so come serious. But don't be afraid. Ask, talk. All you can get is a no. Do you know what I mean? And a no is not a harm. It's not a harm to anyone. It just shows you what the situation is.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Well, Kenrick, thank you for coming down and talking to us today. Now, everyone, get about Kenrick.